Hi guys, when was the last time you had some plantain porridge? So this morning I'm feeling like some plantain porridge, and so I'm welcoming you into my kitchen to spend some time with us as I make some plantain porridge. So the first thing I'm going to need is, of course, a plantain, and I keep my plantain in the fridge so it stays green. I was very fortunate this week. Plantains are very hard to get in my area, but I was very fortunate this week to get some plantain. No, this is not very green, but it's still at the point where I can use it to make my plantain porridge, and I'm just gonna be using one. All right, so we need our plantain porridge to be nice and creamy, but still not too creamy. We don't want it too processed, right? We want to still leave some work for our tummy to do. So I'm going to do a coarse blend in my blender, and I'm going to be adding some extra fiber also. I'm going to be adding, I don't have enough vanilla, so I'm going to be adding some almond extract. You can use whatever you like. You know what, I just saw my asparagus out. Before I forget, these things go bad so fast, and I was supposed to put them in some water yesterday. They go bad so fast. So what I do is I just I'm doing them because I don't want them to go bad, you guys. I love asparagus. We all love asparagus in this house, and as much as we love it, sometimes we forget that it's there. So I'm just cutting the bottom of the stems off, so it will be able to take up the water that I'm putting it in. I'm gonna put it in this jar here with some water and just put her back in the fridge, and she'll keep there for a good week, right? It will be there for a good week. So now back to our plantain porridge. For extra fiber, I'm going to be adding some coconut, some fresh coconut. And some psyllium husk for extra fiber. Now here we go. That's her. So I'm just going to put her back on the fridge where she'll be okay for curlies. Do I need anything else out of here? No. Okay, maybe a little butter. Oh yes, I'm gonna put some milk in there. No guys, I'm not encouraging you guys to drink cow's milk. All right, you put whatever milk you want in there. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't like this video either because you don't drink cow's milk. You substitute whatever you use, right? If I'm making a dish that there's something in there that you don't use, substitute, but still like the video. All right, it helps our channel to get pushed, especially our devotionals. So I'm using the A2 grass-fed milk in here, just in case you do drink milk. And let's put this over here. Nutmeg, spices, all of that stuff you can put in there. I'm gonna use some 5-spice. 5-spice has cinnamon. Let me make sure. 5-spice has cardamom, fennel, clove, star anise, and white pepper. Right, I am out of nutmeg. Actually, nutmeg should be somewhere here, but I can't find it for some reason. A little bit of salt. Right, and what else am I gonna need? Water. I need to put on a pot of water, and you can use your tap water, bottled water, whatever water you use is what you're going to use here. I have another step-by-step tutorial for making plantain porridge on here, but I just wanted you to spend some time with me this morning in the kitchen while I do this. Sometimes we need a little bit of inspiration to make breakfast at home, and so that's what I'm doing here. Okay, so I'm just starting off with maybe 2 cups of water in here, and I want this to start boiling before I even start making my porridge, right? Because you don't want to put that blended stuff in cold water. It will start to, well, actually it won't clump up too much, but it's just a rule of thumb when you're making porridge to put your contents in, your blended contents or whatever, especially cornmeal porridge, in boiling water. All right, so we're gonna go over here and we're gonna peel our plantain. And I have a, like I said, it looks ripe on camera, but it's not. I have a step-by-step tutorial that teaches you how to peel your plantain, just in case you don't know how, right? But very easy. Slipping the finger in there and just peeling it off like that. And that's all I'm doing. Like I said, I'm just using one plantain goes a long way. If you're watching and counting carbs, you want to pay attention to this, because it does have high carbs in it. But I try to balance that out a little bit by adding some extra fiber, you know, the coconut and the psyllium husk. And the coconut also has some healthy fats. And once the porridge is cooked, I add some nuts, and that's gonna give us some protein. Here's the plantain after it's been peeled. I'm just gonna chop it and put it in my blender, just like that. I know you're probably not even seeing it, but it's all right, because like I said, I have a step-to-step tutorial on here of how to do it. Okay, so the next thing I need to do is wash my hands, and we're gonna deal with the coconut. Okay. Now the coconut, persons might be tempted to put coconut milk in there, and that's fine if you just want to put the milk, but I'm also looking forward to use the fiber from the coconut. So what I'm gonna do is blend my coconut first. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my plantain in this bowl, put it aside, because I want this to be like a rough chop, right? Almost like when it would be grated. So I'm gonna deal with my coconut. Fresh coconut, right? It has the water in it. And you know how I do this if you've been watching me for a while, right? I find the permeable hole, right? And I wanna guess that it's this one. It just looks like it is. Yep. And I'm widening the hole and just gonna stick my straw in and drink. So sweet. Okay. And I'm gonna give Carl the rest to drink while I do some other stuff. Here you go, babes. All right, so while he's drinking that, I'm gonna go over here and start measuring out my stuff. I'm just gonna eyeball. I need like, put this down so you can see it. I need like maybe a pinch of salt. I always start with that because it's better to not have too much than to have too much. And half a teaspoon of 5 spice, and some, I put like 2 teaspoons of almond extract, and I have a little bit of vanilla extract. So those are ready, and I can hear my water boiling. So I'm waiting on my coconut. No, how I crack my coconut open. This is a produce bag, an old one. I put it in there, and I bang it on my concrete or a hard surface with it closed, and so it will be in the bag. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll get right back to you. Okay guys, so there's another way that you can crack your coconut open, right? And Carl just did it for me pretty much with this knife. You can, like that. So I guess I just learned that. You're not too old to learn. It's raining outside, so yeah. So it sounds like it's cracked up enough. All right, so now it's all cracked up. So I'm just gonna go in. Right, just gonna go in and take out a piece. I'm just gonna use this piece. I'm gonna take my little paring knife. Where is it? If I can find it, here we go. And you guys know how I do this. Right, just go under gently. Because you've already cracked up the shell, it comes out so easy. I'm gonna give that a good rinse. And like I said, to balance the carb, all that carb from the plantain, this has some healthy fats and some fiber, right? So this is a half of a medium coconut we're using here, dried coconut. If you can find the jelly coconut, that's even better, because it would be nice and tender. So sweet. Look who's reaching in my blender for a piece of coconut. All right. So now I'm gonna add my plantain to it. A nice piece of ginger. Actually, you know what, guys? You guys didn't remind me. Just as bad. I need to blend my coconut first because I'm gonna blend it till it makes no sense. Because I want it to be nice and smooth. Because it's gonna be the fiber in here, but still I want it to be nice and smooth. I'm just gonna put a little bit of water on it. You guys didn't even remind me. It's just as bad. Alright, so hope it's not too noisy for you. That should be good enough. That's one of the reasons, guys, that I do not like to be without my Vitamix. It's just so powerful. All right, now I'm going to add my plantain and my ginger. And I'm just going to do like a pulse sort of thing. It's going to do like a coarse chop. Right, so I have my setting on 10. All right. Now I have my setting on 1. Turn it. And that's it, literally, right? I'm going to go over to my pot that is ready. And my pot already has water in there, remember? So you're able to see in my pot. Where is it? Right here. Okay. So see how the consistency of it. But this is so starchy, you guys. It's going to thicken up. There's a lot in here that I'm going to rinse with a little water, but right away I'm going to start to stir. Right away I'm going to start to stir, and I'm going to keep this on low heat. Now when it starts to thicken up, that's when I'm going to start to add my milk, right? Some people add evaporated milk and use condensed milk to sweeten it. But we're not going to use condensed milk to sweeten it. You can also add sweet potatoes if you want, like half a cup of sweet potatoes. But I don't have the sweet potatoes that I like, the white sweet potatoes that we get, that we're used to, or that I'm used to. I only have the orange one. And I don't know about using that in here. So anyway, but I'm not worried about sweetening anything, because once you stop sugar from your diet, you can taste the sugar in anything. I just had a piece of coconut and it tasted so sweet. All right, so we have all our spices and everything. I need to put a little bit of cinnamon in here, a little bit of extra cinnamon in here. I have this camera that I am training. And yeah, I'm gonna put a little bit of cinnamon in there. Maybe just I'd say a teaspoon. All right. And it's starting to thicken up nicely, just as it should. But you're not sure, depending on the plantain. One is not usually sure how thick it's gonna get, so you wait until it starts to cook and thicken up before you add your milk. That's gonna make it nice and creamy. All right, so we're gonna let it cook on low for a little bit, and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like. Okay guys, so my plantain porridge is thickening up nicely, just like it should. So I'm gonna go ahead and add my psyllium husks to it, and I'm using the No brand, right? Obviously you can use whatever brand you like. There's so many out there, and I'm not sure if you can see what it looks like. I use so much of it. It's not the powder, but it is ground up psyllium husks, and this is about a tablespoon, a heaping tablespoon. I'm gonna put that and stir it in. This is gonna add fiber, and of course it's gonna thicken it up a little bit more. And if it starts to thicken up on you too much, just use your whisk. But as long as you start to stir fast, yeah, you'll be all right. I have little chunks of, little tiny chunks of plantain in here, and that is just fine. It's the consistency that I want it to be. There we go. So I'm just gonna let that cook for maybe, I'd say another 5 minutes or so. No, this is piping hot. One advantage of adding the milk to it at this point is it's gonna cool it down a little bit and make it ready to eat, because right as it is right now, it is just extremely hot. Right, so I'm gonna cover for another 5 minutes or so. Doesn't have to be, the psyllium husks doesn't need to be cooked, but you need to give it a little bit of time so it thickens up things a little bit. All right, so I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and add my I'm gonna go ahead and add my milk. I'm gonna add let's say maybe a half a cup. Turn my stove off, and this is about the time that you would add your sugar to it. Just want to show you what it looks like at this point after the psyllium husks has had some time to gelatinize and stuff. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Still nice and creamy. I'm gonna put some in a bowl so you can see. All right guys, so back in the days when I was younger, I'd be having this bowl full. But nowadays I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna have about maybe a cup and a half, right? And then I'm gonna leave this little thing here on the side for the tribe to have theirs. No, the children, they like to put peanut butter in theirs, but I like to fill mine with pecans and walnuts. You can come, David, you can come and have yours. I'm just gonna put some pecans on here. You can also add a little butter to it if you want to, but I already have the coconut milk in here, so I'm not gonna add the butter. Putting some walnut on here. So here we go, guys. My plantain porridge is all ready. Now the tribe are gonna take theirs. Like I said, they like to put peanut butter. You can also put plantain. Almond butter in there if that's what you prefer. But this is what it looks like with the nuts. Is that delicious? Yeah. Still kind of hot, but I'm gonna taste it. Ginger is coming through. You can take yours, guys, before it gets cold. Okay. By the way, guys, if this thing gets cold on you, you're gonna have to put milk or liquid on it again. And as it's gonna start to cool off, this week it's supposed to be in the 80s. It's gonna start getting cooler, so you know I'm gonna be starting making my porridge again that I just so love, especially during the fall months. I make a lot of porridges and soups and so on. So I hope you'll try this, and then I hope you like it as much as we do. Until the next video, guys, God bless. Let me just show you the tribe over here, all the antics they're doing over here. As they're trying to hide over here. They're trying to hide and show everybody. You guys trying to hide over here. Until the next video, guys, God bless. Bye.